Curacao. This is a more of a tale of not what you buy sometimes, but what you don't buy. I remember going to Hawaii and I saw these little glass balls and they were really nice, but they were made with a kind of optical illusion in them, so when you looked into it, it looked like it was actually coming out the rear of the ball. It was really, really, really nice, but they're about $50 and I ummed and ahed about it for a bit and I left it and kind of wish I bought one really. When I went back to San Francisco, I was going down one of the piers and I saw a shop there and they were selling the exact same things for $150, so it was actually would have been a really good buy. And this too is an example of sometimes where you wish you'd bought something but for a completely different reason. And what happened was we saw this at the beginning of the holiday, and by the end we went to go and buy one, and went down to the markets and couldn't see them anywhere. So I asked a lady, and she said, "Oh, I can make you one." So okay, great. She said, "Come back tomorrow," and which we did, and she made one. But I can tell you, it didn't look anything like this at all. It was absolutely rubbish, and I sort of sat there, sort of laughing at her and laughing at what she had made up. And she said, "Well, it's made by a different artist." And this sort of kind of brings you to the question of what is art and what is good and what is not. But I can assure you, it didn't look anything like this. I kind of regret not buying it because I could have shown people the difference between this, which is actually what I think is quite good, and the other one, which was absolutely atrocious. And it's a funny old thing, art. I mean, some people got this knack of producing something that really does look good, and other people sort of think they can just sort of knock something up in 5 minutes and get away with selling it for large sums of money. But there is something about quality of style, you know, when you go into an airport and you see the signs and they're clear and they give you, you don't have to mess about, you know exactly where to go, and it leads you down a path and makes life a lot easier. And the same thing with art, you know, it gives you an impression straight away that shows us like the quality of the workmanship. But yeah, Curacao was a rather wonderful island. Really enjoyed it. But one of the interesting things that came up was this whole thing about evangelism, and where people think that they know best, and they saw this big mound of rubbish. I mean, Curacao is only a small island, and as people might know, it's just off the coast of Venezuela. But they haven't got facilities there to recycle stuff, so they just chuck it in a big pit and get machines to run over it and squash it down the best that they can. But they were saying, you know, this is terrible really, we should have a lot more recycling. And they've got a point, you know, recycling is great, but the one thing these people don't ever want to acknowledge is that whenever you have these great ideas about what people should do, they never sort of think about the downsides. And if you take what we've got here, look, cereal, this made of recycled cardboard, and great, but all this printed material gets all pulped down and mashed together, so this cardboard gets more and more toxins in it, and the toxins actually don't just stay in the cardboard, they actually leach through the plastic bag into the cereal that we're actually eating. So whilst we're thinking, yeah, we're doing a great thing here, we're recycling, we're also poisoning ourselves. Now, I don't think that, well, the levels are high, but that doesn't put me off eating cereal. But it's an example where instead of thinking of things as 100% benefit, we have to sort of think of things sometimes as maybe 70% benefit, but also a downside. There's always a downside to a lot of the changes and a lot of things that people want us to do. But anyway, that's Curacao. I'm glad I bought this. It's quite good. Another item of things, junk, rubbish, whatever you want to do, put on the shelf with everything else. But I say, would have been a shame I didn't have the really bad one, which costs about the same, just to show you the difference in between the two.